Welcome to another episode of Wild Truth. I'm your host, Max Amini. I'm very excited to bring on my guests. These two are my favorite, not only because they're great at what they do, but they're my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome star, genius of a comedian, and a culinary chef, author, Noah and Iliza. So welcome, so happy to see you. This is so lovely. Really quick, I want everybody who don't know my relationship with Iliza and Noah. Yeah, I went to college at UCLA. I studied acting. At the same time, Noah was going to UCLA and he was studying writing and directing.
And I was just being born.
Yes, and Iliza had just been born.
I was just born, you guys.
And we're going to get to the period of time where Noah was a pervert and picked up this newborn.
So young. We're the same age. We're both 43.
So we have that history. Me and Noah went to the same college, and we had little fun stuff to share with you. But then on the other side, I obviously started doing my stand-up, became a comedian, and through my journey, I met the most amazing, talented Iliza Shlesinger.
Oh my God, thank you.
And I have some fun stories with Iliza. And so I was so excited when I found out that my college buddy has married Iliza, because I hadn't obviously heard or talked to Noah in so long. I discovered through social media, like, what? You can see the surprise I had from this story. And so when Noah and I reconnected, because he's got an incredible book that in a second I'm going to explain that is coming out, and he's got a book tour and all these amazing stuff that's coming up. When we were talking about initially, I said, this is an opportunity for the three of us to have a sit-down talk. Because if we go to lunch or dinner, I'm going to ask the same questions that I'm going to ask today.
Did you see your friends if you didn't see them on a podcast?
Absolutely not. Really, that's today's life.
You see your friends like waiting in a lounge at an airport. Yeah. Like that's where, if you're a comic, like that's how you see each other,
yes.
Like on your way to something better.
It's true. And if I run into Iliza at the airport, I wouldn't recognize her because
probably
she looks
flies private,
homeless at the airport.
I do look homeless.
Have you seen her social media, the way she goes to the airport?
You gotta be comfortable, right, ladies? I'm not putting on heels to fly to Phoenix.
Yeah. She goes with her blanket.
I don't bring a blanket. I'm not like fleeing a bad situation.
So I'm going to ask a bunch of questions, but first and foremost, this is the book that's coming out for Noah. This is called Grill Time. Now, before we start the episode, I just want to let you know, this is the reason we're here today. Yeah? So we're going to dive in, and the show today is going to be about 6 hours long because someone's going to read this entire book. And we're going to dive into this topic.
Yeah, you're doing the audiobook. I don't know if you know that yet.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
We're doing the translation.
Oh,
we're doing it now.
Yeah. So you're going to have a huge Persian following of the Grill Time.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm on the show?
Yeah.
The Persians, we like the grill, we like the kebab, we buy the book. Game over. Before we dive into the whole professional side of this amazing, talented couple, I first and foremost want to ask all my questions, and I want to know, because I know you separately from each other, but how did you guys meet, and how was then turn into an idea for getting married?
We did have the idea to get married, that's true. It was mostly my idea.
Well, I always say that that's not true.
It was definitely his idea. I was like, I guess.
I always say that it was funny because we went to the same gym. She used to come to my restaurant, Bloodso's, when I opened it back then. We had a friend in common who was trying to set both of us up with people but not each other. And we met online.
We're not friends anymore.
Wow. So you knew of each other?
No, I mean, I knew of...
We met on a dating app, and I wish that there were a more romantic version, like he saw me, I saw him. We met on Raya, which does sound like vaguely Persian, Raya. And that was it. And I had gone on some dates with people, but I was the first person that he met. And then
I was a virgin.
What?
No.
He had not had sex. It was awful. And then we met up, and we saw a documentary called Tickled I don't know if anyone has seen it. I thought it was going to be a documentary about competitive tickling, and it was a weirdly dark, homoerotic exploration of this like underworld of gambling. It was very weird. So we were both super turned on. And then we finished the documentary, and I had booked a set for that night to go do stand-up because I was like, I don't know, this guy could be a dud. I'm not going to like miss out on making $15 and doing 8 minutes of my craft for him. And so
at a now closed venue.
Actually no, it was at Hotel Cafe, which is
yeah.
about to close. And so I said, do you want to come to the show? Because if this works out, you're gonna have to see my act anyway. And so he said yes. And we walked in, and the reason I knew he was a good guy is because they gave me a drink ticket when I walked in, as one does, and I handed it to him. I was like, go get yourself a drink. And he goes, I'll wait for you. And I was like, that's so sweet that you're not gonna get shit canned alone in a corner while I'm working.
I do that now that we're married.
Now, all the time. He had a broken arm, and I was like, did they give you any painkillers for that arm? And he said yes, and I was like, go get them. So we had to Uber to his house, but I wouldn't go in the house because I was like, I don't know if I trust you. So I waited outside, but I was like, but I will take painkillers and vodka sodas with you. And we did that until like 3 a.m, and now we're married.
And of course, you know.
That's the truth. That's the secret.
So I can put this, in perspective time-wise. Around when is this? Like, what year was it?
This is 2016, 17.
Yeah,
We
we're
got
coming
married
up on
2018.
10 years from our first date this July.
Wow. Wow. So wait a minute. This is okay. 2016.
You said wait a minute, like you're trying to figure out, like hold on, something's
the time.
Well, I mean, I was single for a long
time.
And
That's right.
I was in this place in my life where you start to, had a cool job. I was meeting wonderful people, and I didn't really care. You're in your 30s, don't care if you see them again on a second date. And I was like, maybe I'm too old and have learned too much to fall in love anymore.
Especially in LA.
But can I be honest with you?
And then I met her, and I was like, well, I'm fucked. I hope she likes me because she can take me for whatever she wants at this point.
You had a job that you met cool people, but you did not meet anybody as cool as a freaking hilarious star.
This
is the truth. So nice. She had already won Last Comic Standing, had a big career. She was 2016. She was a freaking hot commodity. She was the hottest girl you could have met in Los Angeles. I met cool people. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was like
met her and you're like, fuck.
I was working 20-hour barbecue days, and she owned a house from talking to strangers for 15 minutes or an hour a night.
It's true.
I did have a house, and he moved right in, and he moved in, and I was like, where are you gonna go? And he moved in, and I remember, and girls, just so you know, I'm not about like changing people, but I was like, he would come over at night, and he'd like lay on the bed with me, and I'd be like, do you have like an intermediary outfit between your boxers or jeans? He was like, no. I'm like, you're just like laying on my bed in jeans.
Well, I didn't bring like an overnight bag. I just sort of showed up. I own sweatpants.
He wouldn't bring an overnight bag because I'm so weird. He was like, I didn't want you to think that I assumed I was sleeping over, even though I've slept over every night for 6 weeks. And I was like, we have to get you some sweatpants. And I made him throw out his one sweatshirt because it was brown. Like, who has a brown, like, or do you a monk? Like, why is it a brown hoodie?
And if a man brings an overnight bag, he's gay. You need a toothbrush and you sleep in your underwear. What else do you need? You need nothing else.
I had a dog with who was like a little heavy, and he like took over her diet and would like take her on real walks.
To be fair, I took over your diet, took you for real walks too.
Do you want to tell them the chicken thing? They may not. I think regular people like me, where I'm from, you go to like a family Italian restaurant, you can like add a protein. Like you can add like a side of chicken. And so he made me pasta for the first time, and he was like, what kind of pasta do you want? And I was like, oh, I just want pasta with like a chicken breast on it. And he was like, okay. And so he made it, and it wasn't until like 3 years later, like once we were like locked in, he's like, I have to tell you that is a trash order. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you're not at like a corporate, like a Carrabba's Family Grill. Like you don't order pasta with a protein. Like there's no dish.
No one's like, oh, how was trip to Modena? Oh my God, I went to the best restaurant. I added a chicken breast. It was
like
fantastic.
In my mind, if you work out, you're like, she works out. Like I have to get my protein, so I'll put the chicken breast. He's like, you don't add a chicken breast, you piece of trash. So Now they're all like, we love chicken breast.
Yeah,
Can't add it
that's
to
a
your pasta.
bougie chef thing. Yeah, you
I
got to
didn't
know the
know.
lingo. You got to know what goes with what drink I order with this food.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know. I was eating turkey out of a bag like a feral raccoon.
It's less bougie to me as it is like
mark on your
anti-corporate chain. Like I also was raised by like hippies in Santa Monica, where like I think like is McDonald's a sponsor?
No, definitely
Great.
not. Never,
they're
ever
ruining America and killing our children. And so
Yeah,
like
exactly.
and so that I'm more fighting against like the Cheesecake Factory version of
The
Italian food.
cheesification of Italian. It's really about your culture and not wanting to add a chicken breast to your
My
culture.
1/4 Italian
Your one-
culture.
well, as a white person, we will cling to that. You got anything ethnic in there, you're like, I'm Italian.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a great moment for me to thank our sponsor, Grilled Kebab channel. Thank you very much for sponsoring us. We love you. Back to the show. Growing up with hippies, your dad was a composer? I saw
He did
online-
some composing, but he was mostly a producer. My dad, his claim to fame was he invented the drum loop when he was producing the Bee Gees. He produced like the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. And so yeah, my dad's like a legend of that side, and then became a futurist and technology guy. But his whole career is crazy. He accepted 2 Grammys barefoot. So that's how you know you're a hippie artist.
Can we just really take in for a second how fucking cool Noah is? Seriously, he's a cool asshole, isn't he? Like, he's
Cool
just
asshole.
naturally cool. And I tell you, when we
Nice,
were in
cool
college,
Nice,
Asshole.
cool asshole.
You gotta keep it cool. You gotta
Gotta
keep your
it
asshole
cool, 'cause
really
you want to
cool.
keep it tight,
You
yes.
gotta keep it
right?
tight. If it's warm, it opens up.
That's right.
Now you can imagine what their talk is at home.
You said cool asshole, and I was like, now that's what we're gonna call you. I'm gonna stitch it into pillows.
Yeah, but Noah is a very talented writer, and even though his passion for becoming a chef and going to this whole world and opening his restaurant and all that stuff, but he always wrote because that was his talent, and that's what you went to UCLA for.
Yeah.
I remember I had a friend of mine who to this day is one of my dear friends, very successful actor, Jocko Sims. And so we all went to school together, and we had a scene that we were working with Noah, and Noah was going to be he wrote and directed this
No, this
piece.
one I didn't write. It was a directing class.
Oh, okay.
But this is, can I interrupt you
please,
and tell
please.
it? Because it cracks me up. And so directing class, it's all these people who, want to be directors, or the writers want to learn how to direct. And they're all trying to cast, but all the actors in the program are incredibly busy. They're doing 1 million scenes a week. They don't have time to rehearse. So they're just casting each other, other directors, other writers to be in their scenes. And I was like, I know how this works. So I was like, I go to Max and I go to Jocko and then our friend Darcy, and I go, you guys are great actors. I know you don't have time to do this. If we can rehearse for 5 minutes right before the scene, I'll bet it'll be better and we'll do a great job. So we rehearse for 5 minutes. They go up on the stage, do their scene. Everyone, uproarious applause. The teacher comes out and he goes, "That's how you direct a scene. You just look at what did you do, Noah, to get them to direct to do this scene perfectly?" And I just said, "You hire really good actors and get out of the way." And I was right. And that's why I don't direct, because it's otherwise really boring.
I'm clapping for that. They're like, fuck directors. That's right. What's the applause for? Okay.
No, that's a huge compliment he's giving me, Iliza. But
Hey, I picked
tell you,
two of the only people in the entire program who are still working today.
That's true.
isn't that crazy? But hold
Maybe
on.
I should have been a director.
Can I just say something? Max has always been, I guess I've known you my whole career,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
He's always been like this. Like he's always been, and he's like, you were like tall and thin, and you're very muscular now. You're very beefy. He was not always so beefy. And he was always just eyes are always big, always in like a really good mood. And as a comic, you're like, what's wrong with this guy? And it's just pure. Like, so just so you know, like this is not like just him. Like this is how you've always been.
Yeah, thank you.
Like just a
thank
big
you,
smile. Like, you know that Instagram filter where it's just the eyes and the big smile? That's
thank you.
you.
It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. I'm
Cool asshole.
A cool asshole. Yes. Because a lot of people don't know behind the scenes of comedy, right? Comedians and comedy clubs, they all have different vibes, right? For example, I started my career at the Comedy Store, And it was just, I didn't fit in because the environment and the way comedians sort of interacted, back then it was cool to be dark and moody and
Mean?
talk shit about,
Mean?
yeah, it was just
What year
mean,
was this?
really mean.
What year was
I started comedy 2001. And so
A lot
I
of swampy,
just-
warm assholes.
yeah, and I was, I grew up very social. My family was very warm. We're Middle Eastern. We're just like very friendly. We come out, and it's a joy to be in an environment like that. In my head, I'm coming to have an amazing time. Like, I had my whole life, I had 2-3 jobs. I'm hustling. So the 2 hours I get to walk into a comedy club, it was probably the most exciting moment of my life at that time, right? So I go in with a great mood, and everyone's just like, And I didn't get it. I didn't understand. And people said, listen, you have to be a self-deprecating comedian. You go up there and you say all this, you just act too happy, and it's not going to work. As a young comedian, you're trying to discover yourself. So I thought at that moment, I thought, you know what? I don't care. I'm always going to be me, and I'm positive, I'm loving, and I'm just going to stick to this to see what happens. And ultimately, it fucking worked out.
It worked out.
Moral of the story, be a nice asshole.
Or just be really a funny asshole. Because there's plenty of assholes where it works out. It's,
Yeah, the list of nice male comics is short.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember Iliza when Iliza first started, because Iliza was the hottest comedian ever walked into the comedy scene at the time, right? It's true. Iliza.
I love that that's your memory.
Yes, it is. Iliza was the most beautiful. I mean, just, to put in perspective, the business has grown like so much. Now there's thousands of amazing young women doing comedy.
Most of them are very attractive now, but there was a time, there was 8 of us.
Exactly. There was a very small number of female comedians, and it was a very small number of attractive female comedians. And a lot of attractive girls in Hollywood would not do stand-up comedy. If they were attractive, they would do acting but Iliza was so powerful. And I tell you, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not just saying this because we're sitting here. Strong personality from day one, very confident, and very much so herself. Like, it was just unapologetically herself. So I remember we met. I don't remember where we met, but we had met, and we see each other at the comedy clubs here and there. And man, hardworking. One of the baddest, most hardworking people I've ever seen. Back then, Los Angeles was the worst place to do stand-up comedy because there was not enough opportunities to perform. Now there's a lot, but back then you just had the comedy clubs and maybe a few spots that you could perform comedy. So Iliza, she was doing her spots, and we connected. I even remember she was doing, she called me one day, she goes, I'm doing graphic design. I go, huh? She goes, I'm doing graphic design.
I definitely did not say graphic design. I said,
Something.
I will make your flyer for your show.
Well, how was you going to make it? With your hand?
With like Adobe, like really crudely putting text over an image.
That's graphic design.
She was going to take stickers
like
and put
mastering
it on
Adobe.
the paper. And I remember.
Oh, it was Photoshop. I had mastered
Yeah.
rudimentary Photoshop skills at my desk of my day job.
Yeah, Photoshop.
Okay, just so we're
So
clear.
as we're talking, I said, that's awesome. She goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm doing this gig in Santa Barbara. And what are you doing? She goes, nothing. I said, well, then come with us. I'm going there with this comedian. It was an Indian comedian, Tarun Shetty. And she's like, okay, cool. We decided to go. And Iliza said, I'll drive. Okay, awesome. We got in the car. We drove to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
And we did the show. We had a great time. Got on the show, driving back to LA. It was a really fun show, and she did a terrific job. And we're driving back, and Iliza said, Max, are you auditioning for Last Comic Standing? And I said, no, I'm not doing it. Do you remember this?
I don't. He told me that you told him this, but I remember the gig, but I don't remember the conversation.
Okay.
All
right, this is great.
Yeah,
So we're driving
I'm part
back.
of them now. We're all listening.
And I said, I'm not doing Last Comic Standing. And she goes, why? I said, well, I have a following, and my following back then was all Persians, and I was a star in my community. And I didn't want to go on Last Comic Standing on NBC and get eliminated on the second round. And the Iranians would be like, what the fuck? We thought he's the best. He's not the best. And my career will end on the second episode of Last Comic Standing.
That happened.
And I said, but I remember saying this. She doesn't remember, but I did say, I said, Iliza, You should go on, and I guarantee you're going to win this contest. And she goes, oh, thank you. I said, no, I'm serious. I said, I'm serious. I really feel like you're going to win because they've never had any female stand-up, and you have such a strong personality, and it's a reality behind the comedy scenes and then performance. I said, you've got it all. You're going to win this thing. And she's like, okay, cool. I'm going to go crash on my friend's couch in San Francisco. I'm going to do the San Francisco competition.
I did that.
Well, this is a story.
That's
I'm
wild.
retelling this. I remember the
Part of me
story
was
like a day.
I don't think this happened. But
Did you keep doing stand-up?
that's a real detail. I came from Singapore. I was doing military shows. Is that weird to say now? No, I support the military, and I do a lot of USO. And at the time, I hadn't done USO. I do a lot of like you go to military bases and you entertain troops, allied forces. And I had been in. It was either it was Diego Garcia, which is also a hot button thing. I fucking don't remember where I was. I was somewhere, and I missed the LA audition. So I said, "Can I do the San Francisco audition?" I did sleep at my friend's house, and I did do that audition there.
Yeah. Next thing you know, Iliza goes. She's a new comedian. Back then, maybe a couple of years or
3
something.
years in.
3 years in. 3 years in to go into a competition on NBC where you're competing against a comedian who's been doing this for 10 years or more. It's just something that is so hard to put in perspective. She goes on the show, and I watched every single episode, and this girl was on fire. And she becomes the last comic standing on NBC, wins the competition.
Please don't clap for that. It's actually my nightmare to talk about this. But my Persian following was very proud of me.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It was huge
the
after
three
that.
fans that she got from my show.
Yeah.
And today, Iliza started from a show like that, but she has 6 Netflix specials. She has an Amazon
One comic.
special.
I don't want this. That's very sweet.
but you don't
This
want
is actually
it.
my waking nightmare.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
We could talk about anything else.
You should take it. You should really take it in.
Max is
because
playing
it's
Madison Square
amazing.
Garden, and I'm at the Tulsa Hard Rock tomorrow. So come on out.
No, but really, it's so beautiful to see your friends, where they started and where they at, and she's so talented. And I just want to get to the punchline. And the reason she has this incredible success is because Noah been writing all her jokes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
No, I'm joking.
whole
I'm joking. The whole time. I'm joking.
Before we met.
But I really wanted to tell the story. And can you put that picture on the screen? I have a picture of the day
see
we
it.
went to Santa Barbara together.
Oh my God, I want to see.
Look at this.
Oh my God, your glasses.
This is when I told my parents I'm going to medical school. Meanwhile, I was doing stand-up comedy.
You do. You look like my dentist. He's like a 14-year-old Persian kid. That's awesome.
And that's Tarun Shetty.
I remember him.
And that's Iliza!
Oh my God.
You look like early days Mark Maron.
I know.
I love that haircut.
Okay, thank you.
I did. I love that
This
haircut.
is from that day.
Oh my God, how cute.
Yeah. I would never
You know a
guess we
picture's
were-
old because people have red pupils.
Right from The Flash. That gig, I had a desk job, and I remember, like, the farther outside of LA you would perform, the more time you could get. Like, in LA, you could get, like, 7 minutes, but if you schlepped to Santa Barbara,
Yep.
you could get 15, and they pay you in chicken fingers.
Yep.
And so, like, on a weeknight with, like, a desk job, we would, like, make that trek. You remember that one in San Diego where you'd like hold a bucket for tips? It was called, not like
Oh
it
my
was like a
God.
Greek restaurant or something. So humiliating to like pour your heart out and then just hope people. The level of weirdness for some of these gigs, and you just did them because you just wanted
for the
stage
record,
time.
I never did that show.
Never did it?
But the one time that I did it, I didn't take a hat. I just I took my shirt off. And I had
And you gave them money.
Doubled the money.
Yeah.
Doubled
Doubled the money.
the income. No, but jokes aside, this you know we all have in entertainment. You do this for many years to finally something happens. Like this is not.
Still waiting.
Yeah, this is not.
I was hoping the show would be it.
No, what do you mean start happening? She just had a movie at Sundance, and so many amazing projects Iliza's got.
Thank you.
No, really. You want to tell us about the movie?
I can. It's not out yet. We just took it to Sundance. It premiered at Sundance. It's called Chasing Summer, and I'd put it in the genre of movies about returning home, and it's about a 43-year-old relief worker who kind of, and a lot of people feel this way, you leave your home for whatever reason and you make up all these stories in your head about people you went to high school with or things that happen, and sometimes it takes time to realize that all the things that you thought were chasing you weren't chasing you. And it got into Sundance by the grace of God, thanks God.
That's amazing.
And so it premiered there, and it's gonna be out soon, and I will let you know when we find out when that is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it was so cool for me getting to go to that to the premiere at Sundance, because I remember the first time I ever came on the road with Iliza, it was, I think, a show in Houston, and the first time I'd seen her like do sets in LA, but the first time you hear their audience in a theater, you get like emotional hearing her fans cheering for her. They about to take us to see her show in Houston, and she was, doing this big theater and all this stuff. And I was so emotional. And then to get to relive that, but at Sundance, sitting with her, hearing a crowd go crazy for something she did. And granted, this is a festival crowd, but everyone flipped out for the movie. The audience went through the roof for it. And so to sit with her and get to have that experience again side by side was like one of the coolest things.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I do have sex in the movie, and that is a weird experience. I don't necessarily recommend holding your husband's hand while you have sex with someone else on camera.
I had sex while you were filming the movie with somebody else.
It's wild. Anyway.
Well,
Actually, it ended up being the same guy, so it was great.
Don't give it away that it was a guy.
it's so wonderful you brought this up, because it takes very special people to be able to marry someone that's in the entertainment business. And Noah is on top of that double special, because she's not just in entertainment, she's a stand-up comedian. And she's a very strong personality. She's,
keep saying this.
No, you are. You're not a weak personality.
It's not weak.
You're not, and your stand-up is very, very strong.
It's forceful.
You're a very good representation for women out there. You stand up for a lot of great causes. I think not a lot of men can be in a relationship like this. You have to be very confident, you have to be very loving, and you have to be very selfless to be able to sit next to a star, hold her hand while she's having sex with another guy. So
that's basically it.
But I really admire you for this.
If it's not on camera, there's a different word for it. But
yeah, as long as it's on camera, ladies, just as long as you tape it, it's not cheating. Your honor.
Hilarious.
Yeah. As long as it's on your cell phone, it's okay.
You're too funny.
Yeah.
But tell us a bit about your relationship, because it's not easy.
Ooh.
No relationship is easy, let alone living with someone who's traveling all the time. In this case, it's not the traditional sort of sense where the mom is on tour and dad has to stay home with the kids. I mean, I'd love to hear about this dynamic.
my divorced friends swear that it's really good to have one of them leaving town for 3 days a week.
It gives you I'll go out, I'll do sets at night if I'm not on tour. You go to the Comedy Store, you go to the Improv, Max.
Especially now with kids, it's hard to tag along. It's like you can get a sitter for 45 minutes.
I'm not going to spend $300 so that he can come watch me do the same set 3 times. And so I go out, but I come back and he's always, the kids are in bed and he's always alone watching a Western movie. And I'm like, it's good you had this time to do that.
You've seen the second half of a lot of really good
So
movies.
I just walk in, he's watching a movie. After a set, I have to come home and I decompress. I eat fruit, like a bonobo. And I just you're up here.
Yeah.
And whether you realize it or not, you get done playing a show, you need a minute to and as I've gotten older, I'm like, I just need a minute to calm down. And people are like, oh, can we come backstage and talk? Can we take you out to dinner? And I'm like, fuck no. I just need to sit. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done entertaining. I'm done performing. And so I'll just sit in the kitchen and check my phone, which never makes you feel great, and read the news and eat an orange.
But I remember
watching a Western.
the first time, I watch all kinds of movies. I'm just on a Western kick right now. But I remember the first time I pointed out to you and you realized that you could eat dinner before you go to work.
It never occurred to me to eat dinner at a normal time. I was like, yeah, I'll come home and I'll just eat a bunch of pasta at 11:30. He's like, or I could cook you a real dinner at 6 o'clock.
That's nutritious and will give you energy to do your job and then come home.
And you don't have to stop at Wendy's. And I was like, huh, okay. He's like, your house could be a warm place, not just somewhere you throw your sweatshirts. And I was like, huh, okay.
One of the things we talked about too early on is and I don't know if maybe you were nervous about it or not, but there is certain guys obviously are not secure in themselves and in the people that they're with. And so like for some people, marrying into somebody who owns a beautiful house is terrifying. I'm like, this is the best deal in the world. What are you talking about? This is incredible. But one thing we talked about is like, she had like a couch and like a beanbag chair and an empty fridge. And I always
Like I just needed an Xbox and I would have been like a 20-year-old guy.
But I felt like, and maybe this is kind of like, traditional role swapping, but like turning a house into a home is an important thing. And that's something that we have done together and made this kind of beautiful life. They say opposites attract, and when you do that, it's because you find someone who balances you out in your relationship, and then you have kids and you realize that opposites and the balancing, it's like Tetris pieces lining up, is actually like nature helping you make a more balanced kid if you find the right person for you. And that's why I didn't get married in my 20s. I needed to learn who I was and what I wanted and didn't want in a person. And then I thankfully met her at the perfect time in my life. And so like we do a really good job, I think, of balancing out our strengths and weaknesses and filling those gaps. Like, I mean, she makes our house so much more fun than it would be if it was just me. And
that's the word we'll use.
And not because of me, we have a lot more fiber in our diets. And so,
it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that.
Clap for fiber.
Increasing the amount of fiber we eat in our diet is one of the biggest things we can do to increase the length of our life. They say it decreases all-cause mortality by 30%. So it's like there's all these jokes about fiber, like it'll make you fart and poop and whatever, and like, sure, great. But the truth is, it's like the thing that makes the machinery run properly. And as a society, we are so obsessed with like protein and lifting weights. These like ripped dudes, no offense, who like pump iron and eat protein and this like manosphere of like I shot an elk and then I ate it and nothing else. It's like these old beautiful cathedrals with like crumbling infrastructure. People don't eat enough fiber, and getting more and more of it into your diet is like a massively important thing for long-term health.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It is. We talk about it a lot.
It's the only grilling cookbook in the world probably with a split pea soup recipe in it.
So
Yeah.
Noah, where did your passion for cooking and food and nutrition, where it all started?
It started with my mom, to be honest. Again, it's like Schenectady, like New York Italian. You grow up with that kind of, like she was going to make sure her kids knew how to cook dinner before they left the house. Wow. So I was cooking constantly growing up, and then it just kind of kept building out of that. When I was struggling to, work as a playwright, trying to write screenplays, doing all that kind of stuff, I ended up writing about food, wrote a food blog that like took off, got hired by magazines and newspapers, so I'm waiting tables and bartending. And then there was this barbecue restaurant in Compton called Bloodsoe's Barbecue, this legendary barbecue place in Los Angeles, and I interviewed Kevin Bloodsoe for LA Weekly, and we were like, how cool would it be if you could eat that food and drink a beer in LA proper and like watch a game? And so he invited us to come to his granny's 90th birthday party, and 3 white Jews show up to the Martin Luther King Community Center in Corsicana, Texas. Kev says the record scratched when we walked in, but then cut to 3 a.m. I'm drinking corn rye and singing Sam Cooke songs with like 90-year-old women. And we made a deal to work together. So I started training in Compton. Then I became the culinary director, helped us open like Koufax Coffee and Prime Pizza, and was writing at the same time, writing cookbooks and things like that. This is my second solo cookbook, and it's I've been doing this industry now for, probably 15, 20 years now. And I've learned from some of the best chefs and people in the world, from my mom to friends to, she's so funny and I love her so much. And so this is the way that I cook for my family. It's this is a grilling book, so it's great for Father's Day if you guys want to buy them for people.
Let me get a big
super
round of
accessible.
applause. That's so sweet.
Yeah. When
Wow.
he told me he was doing that, I was like, okay, grilling, like it's for boys, but like I can tell you I've personally eaten every single thing in this book, and I do think that it makes grilling really accessible. Like you do think of it as like the thing that your dad does or like fire up the grill, but like this is a very elegant cookbook, and it is for everyone.
And I heard somewhere in the book you share some tips and tricks about using mayo so your meat doesn't stick to the grill. And I was like, what?
So this is a trick I learned from my buddy Ari, who's got some amazing restaurants here in LA, Found Oyster, Queens, Raw Bar and Grill. And he learned this from somebody else, but basically, people think they don't like mayonnaise. Some people are weird about mayonnaise, whatever, do your thing. But the tiniest amount of mayonnaise, because it's this hyper emulsified fat, if you just take like a little, like a pastry brush or a paintbrush, and you brush the thinnest veil of mayonnaise on a piece of fish, first of all your seasonings and spices will adhere to it perfectly. Put it on the grill, it makes your fish like non-stick. You just flip it once and you're done, and it's perfect.
Yes. This is how potent.
Yeah, write it down.
This is how potent mayo is. That just a tiny bit of this makes the fish flip.
Well, there's like there's a chemical element to what it does. Food
Chemical.
is-
Did you hear this? Chemical in your mayo.
I mean,
Be careful.
It's science and physics. It's just emulsified fat, but it's.
But the most fascinating part about it is the person that discovered this, who put the mayo, goes, bring the mayo, it's gonna work. And then you happen to be working with this guy to learn these tricks. That's amazing. And now we know where the strength comes because he grew up working in Compton. Now we're saying the strong man, the strong personality to handle a female stand-up comedian. Compton, baby, Compton.
That's right. Are you out? Or are you just on tour?
All the time.
Yeah, but are you ever out? Like, do you ever do spots at home?
Hardly nowadays. When I come back home, I'm so happy to be home.
Yeah, you
I
don't wanna
really
do it?
don't want to do any gigs.
Yeah.
But I will pop into a comedy club here and there. I just found this spot that I'm doing very private shows just so I can build new material.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I want to perform. I'm really like, oh my God, I have a story and I need to perform this to figure it out for the next sort of like next round of hour that I'm
Just like
trying
an
to make.
intimate venue like Staples Center? Or
No,
something?
yeah, exactly. That's the one. But this conversation for me is very entertaining, more so than maybe a lot of you guys, because behind the scenes of comedy is very, very different. Like when Iliza said, when I go home, I just need a little bit of time to wind down. Maybe to you guys, you don't really understand what that means, but it truly is to dissect it. Is like you just, you go on stage, but she does it almost every other night. We're on stage and you have hundreds of people. There's a massive amount of energy, and you're really performing. You've got these, material. You got these things that you worked on. You're there. You perform it. Your brain is going 500 miles an hour. This, based on what you said, what happened, and so you go through this. Then you meet your fans. You meet your colleagues. And you have your family at home, and you do this night after night, but for the audience, you only saw her that one night, right? For you, it's just one night. For us, it's like all the time. So then when we get back, to our own world, whether you go, if you're on the road, you're in the hotel, you're home, you really need just a little bit of time to yourself. And it's so beautiful that you have such a cool husband that says that understands really, because a lot of people don't understand comedians. For you to give her that space, for her to wind down, be in her own little world, and then come back and connect with the family, I thought that's a very beautiful little thing that I wanted to sort of like talk about.
And then I can talk to you about Sam Peckinpah for an hour when you
It's
get
basically like, come home, he's like, can I talk to you about this Western that I'm watching? And I'm just like, you can talk at me. I'm like, do you want to hear about like my facial routine? And so I think a big part of marriage is just like listening and like being respectful.
You have
but
great thoughts about things. It's always,
sure. I think the key to marriage is actually having almost nothing in common. Nothing in common other than your like core values, because we do not enjoy any of the same stuff.
I always said that
Like
when
people
we
date
met,
and they're like, oh my God, we like the same music. Who gives a fuck? Like unless you're like going to raves together, like he like knows all the Leonard Cohen songs, and I'm like, do you like EDM? Like we are not the same people.
I said we bonded over a mutual love of one thing. We both agree that you're great.
That's very sweet. This is so weird.
Marriage is such a complicated yet simple.
You get a good
depending
lawyer,
on who
it's
you
easy.
are. No, but
Yeah.
it really depends on who you are. Because I have friends, they just meet someone and then 2 months later they got married. I hear the story is like unbelievable. They were wired from a young age. They grew up in that family in a way that life was about getting married ASAP.
Marriage seems like a big deal until you have kids, and then that is the bigger deal.
How old are your kids now?
Our son just turned 2, our daughter's 4.
You checking with me?
I'm always like, when was she born? It's a lot of fun. Like, I love it. I know that, like, the thing to do is to bare your soul on Instagram as a mom and talk about how hard it is and all the awful stuff. And, like, there are times I screamed at her the other day, you can get a different mommy if you don't like the rules. Like, there are times that you lose your mind, but it's the good so outweighs the bad, and you do give it so willingly. And we're so awful to mothers in this country because we inherently hate women so much. And so you take it out on moms because moms don't have the time to defend themselves because we're so busy raising the next generation of doctors, not in our family, but like someone's going to be a doctor. I love it. I love being a mom. It's added such a dimension to my life, but just to get to care for these beautiful little children, like it's so fun. And if you can't do it, okay. But like there's this weird thing where women have to like equivocate, like I have a kid and if that's not your choice, I'm allowed to just like, I'm just gonna say it, I'm having the best fucking time.
Wow.
Like even when it's hard, it is so much fun. And I'm like unabashedly excited about that, and I don't talk about my kids in my act because you wanna make sure, I want people to enjoy this, I want people to feel that I'm relating to them, and I don't wanna offer my kids up to the fucking monster that is the internet to like devour my parenting skills. I don't show their pictures. We have so much fun, even when it's hard, and like your daughter wets the bed and then won't admit to it and is like, I was sweating. You're like, nope, that's urine. Like even when you're changing sheets at 2 a.m, like you're still like, I love this kid.
And I think there was something for me too, however, like there's a point in your life where you're like, it's enough me. And
the comics are like, never.
but like where you know, as you know, I love my wife very much, but there's a different thing with your kids. It's like you now, it moves you down the pecking order into, I think, the right place as you get to a certain stage in your life. And it's still incredibly frustrating and hard. The food part of it is fascinating to me. I'm learning constantly. In fact, if you want to follow along with my struggles and get recipes, I have a newsletter on Substack called I'm Legally Required to Feed You.
It's really
it's
it's cute.
weekly recipes that are centered around feeding your kids. But it is that thing that happens too where it's like, I've built an entire career out of knowing how to make food for people, and they pay me for it because I'm good at it. And then a 4-year-old says I don't like it. And you're like, I get paid for this.
Yeah.
It turns out you can't yell at your kids, I have a James Beard Award, and they'll eat your dinner.
I don't know what that is.
So I say, like, it
It's
turns
humbling.
out, I'd rather, then it turns on yourself. Then you start to, like, get upset and you feel bad about yourself, and you start to like all these things that you've spent your entire career battling through, your career choices. Now you come face to face with your kids on the same topic, and you have to like either learn how to grow or you have to change the recipe. And I changed the recipe.
Yeah. Nothing will humble you quicker than trying to do something funny and your kid doesn't laugh or like doesn't see it, and you're just stuck like making a face, and you're like, people pay me for this, you ingrate. Like, I was a god last night for an hour and you won't even laugh? Go watch Bluey.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so true. I love the fact that you enjoying your motherhood so much. That is so beautiful to hear, really.
Yeah.
And how difficult it is for you to go on the road. Leave the family behind and go for a few days. It must be really hard.
I always say, I'm like, when I'm away from my children, my heart is broken. And when I'm with them, I'm like, oh, I need a break. But I have found a real joy. It is hard to travel with children. I take them with me. I take my daughter with me because she's older and she loves to run on stage at the end and she knows what a green room is. Like taking your daughters to your work, whatever it is, to show them like, this is what mommy does. This is why you have the things that you have. Like I don't need her to be a stand-up comic, but just contextualizing, being gracious to people, saying please and thank you, the way to order food and like make eye contact, like real world skills. Like we get on a plane, she immediately makes a left and goes to the cockpit, which is like allowed. And she sits and then they put the hat on. Like just having a sense, I think, especially for girls, of like you belong in this world and you can move freely through this world. And and being comfortable in any room and with strangers and talking to people, not one of these kids that's just like afraid to make eye contact. I want her to walk with that confidence. And so I bring her, and it's hard. She doesn't always want to go to bed at the bedtime 3 hours later on the East Coast, but it is, and my heart's racing the whole time, but the joy of just bringing her and being like, this is what, I built this so I could share it with you before I even knew you. And it's just a lot of fun.
That's so beautiful.
It's so cute.
That is so beautiful.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, you should share with your children. Your children should see that their parents work. Yeah. Because like we work so hard at what we do, and he works so hard at that. And I'm sure you guys all have jobs that you care about and that fulfill you. And like to be able to share that and that passion, like that is a palpable thing. Like people people feel that.
Absolutely.
This summer, spring and summer, we get to see what happens when you do the reverse. She's going to be home with the kids, and I'm doing a 21 city book tour, and so we need to do like letters from home to find out what the kids are eating while I'm gone for long stretches.
The answer is whatever the nanny feeds them. I'm not doing it alone.
That's not true.
No, it must be really exciting though to go on the road. So if you want people to take, like, what is the one thing you want people to take away from your book?
To be honest, it's what it really is about rethinking the way you think about grilling, looking at it as actually the easier, faster, healthier way to get food on the table. That you can actually make it an extension of your kitchen, to be able to add char onto food to give free flavor, that you have the ability to do this kind of quick, like, you can grill asparagus and throw it on the table in 3 minutes. And if you do it in a pan, it's like now you're cleaning all these dishes.
Clean that pan.
And then, but also you can do big fun weekend project dad stuff. You can make a really good rack of smoke grilled ribs on the grill with real chunks of wood that make all this amazing flavor. I've taken the best ideas from myself and amazing chefs around the world and distilled it down into really accessible home cooking. And
Well, that's really great because I never thought cooking on the grill was going to be faster. I always
Yeah.
thought of it as a big ass project.
Yeah.
But I guess, the way you're putting it in the pan is more of a disaster than.
cleaning up is just a
Yeah.
brush, man.
Yeah.
You're done.
Be outside, and the smoke and everything, it just goes in the air. It's not in your kitchen. You don't have to have a hood on. And I've just watched him. I didn't participate.
But
Nor do I
people
cook.
complain about like cooking a piece of fish inside and the smell and blah blah. Throw it on
Grill it
the grill,
outside.
you're done.
Well, here's the thing. I know Noah's an incredible writer, and I'm not just saying it. Now he's mixed his passion of writing and passion of being a culinary chef, which is really cool. It's really important to understand how this works because it's very important that people that care about this book and they want to support the author and they're really curious to learn about this sort of cooking, which is faster, more tasteful, the way you put it. Do it now
And
because
it helps the
makes a huge
publishing
difference.
industry too.
Show me my
Yeah, and
favorite
also
picture.
if you believe in independent bookstores,
If you
I
believe in the
highly
fabric of our
recommend
country.
ordering from independent bookstores too. Like, look, Amazon is a huge part of book sales. It's going to be the majority of sales for books. I totally get it. Everyone uses it. If you can use an independent local bookstore in your community, or if you actually wanted to order, there's a great bookstore here in LA called Now Serving. It's a beautiful family that runs it. If you go to Now Serving, you can actually order a personalized copy that I will sign and personalize before
Yeah.
it gets sent to you. So you can order it from and support a great local bookstore at the same time.
It's a really cute bookstore. And
That's
this is my favorite picture because this was my idea. We don't show the kids' faces. It's just him holding her and just like, it's just, dads holding their daughters, grilling something that she may or may not eat. But it's for all the babies. So yeah. And the dog was there. So
That's so cool.
it was fun.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
So definitely, if you're, you understand this world of grilling and cooking and you're into this is the book you got to grab now.
Great Father's Day gift too.
Absolutely.
Get ready for that.
Great Father's Day.
And we brought sandwiches.
Give him a big round of applause. Keep it. Because what I love to do, I love to get some questions. If anybody in the studio has any questions and wants to ask Noah, Iliza, or me, feel free to ask. You have a question?
Hi, so a chef and a comedian. And I was just wondering, who's the toughest critic? Is it the person eating the food or the person listening to the jokes?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the person making the food.
Good question.
I was like, that's you. Oh.
I think we're both the toughest on ourselves.
Yeah, I think it's that. Like, I've had to be like, you need to set the pan down and walk away. Like, you're so angry right now.
And I've said that to you on like a
me
work
hitting you?
call.
Yeah, I think it's it's not about criticism. I think he says funny stuff. I write it down all the time. I'm like, I'm gonna make this my own. No one's ever gonna know you were here. I don't cook anything.
I'm
But
better at writing jokes than you are at cooking.
yeah, but one time when he was cooking with his friend Ari, he was doing Ari's cookbook. Ari has Found Oyster, which is a great date place if you ever go, and Queen Street, which is also outstanding. It's in Eagle Rock. They were doing recipe testing. There was one seafood salad, and I said, I think these chunks of lemon are too big. What do I know? And I was right, and now it's different in the book. So
And I got a joke on the special, so it all
he's
works
got a bunch
out.
of jokes on stuff. So it's more about constant self-loathing, constant drip of self-loathing, and the person you love being like, hey, why don't you be nice to the person I'm married to?
I do want to say, I will say one thing that's kind of about like what I learned about comedy from watching real comedians like do their job. And obviously I see my wife the most, but like, you know, I remember one time she had a joke, she did it on stage, and I thought of a tag for it. And I told her, she goes, that's funny. And then she did it on stage and it got a big laugh. And I was like, I did it. I'm really funny. Then I saw her do it again, it didn't get a laugh. And then I saw her do it again and again and again and figure out how to make sure that joke got a laugh every night in every room in every city in the world. And that's what the job is. Like, you can be funny at home and think of something funny, but like until you know how to make it crush everywhere, like that's the gig, and that's what's really cool to watch.
It's called polish.
Yeah, it's really beautifully said.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's add.
Or she.
I'm so like admirable of your whole career and the fact that you've now gone to marriage and kids. What point of your career, I mean, obviously you met each other, but then you would have had to make a conscious decision to then be a mother. Mm-hmm. Like, what was the turning point?
Oh, you know, I know a lot of women are like, I've always wanted this, whatever. I think in the back of my mind, my parents never, definitely not my dad, my mom never, I had like the opposite of a Jewish mom in that she never asked me, when am I getting married? She never asked me about kids. Never asked, not that she but it's just, my parents were very like, you know, do what you need to do and be creative and whatever. And
Had a lot of other things she wanted you to do.
She had a lot of other things she wants me to do. She wants me to have my hair at like a blunt cut. She wants me to rearrange my patio furniture. She wants me to polish my silver. I'm not doing any of these things. I might get the haircut. I think in the back of my mind, I was always like, yeah, I'll get married one day. Like, it just was like, I wanted to be married, but it wasn't, I loved stand-up and I was so busy being creatively fulfilled. And then when we met, I was like, we'll have kids, but it was kind of just, we want to be married for a little bit. We did get married in our mid-30s, so it's not like we got married super young and you had tons of time. I feel like we just kind of enjoyed each other, and then it was like, all right, now, we'll do it now. And we kind of just took steps. And
you start the process.
You start the process, and it, you know, like for some people it's really hard, sometimes it's really easy. You just kind of go down that path, but the point is you're doing it together. And so that was it. I just kind of knew I would get to these things eventually, but they were like blurry objects in the future. There was nothing concrete about it. Mm-hmm. I always thought my daughter would be blonde. She's not. I don't know what that's about. Very dark hair.
Your son's blonde.
My son is blonde. That's not the same.
We'll take one more question. Yeah?
Okay, so you guys said that you are super different. And I have a question. How do you have fun together? What is your hobby together?
The thing with, I mean, it's changing as we get
What's
older.
a hobby?
One of my favorite things to do with her, we're very bad at taking vacations because she travels so much for work. You probably have a similar issue, I think, sometimes.
You probably attach a show to a vacation. That's what I do.
Always.
Yeah.
Right,
so
I'm not going to go to a country
Never,
and not
ever,
work.
ever.
If we can tack like a fun thing onto a work trip, like that's like us having like 2 nights in Tokyo. It's like that's like my favorite thing.
Is that relatable to anyone else? Yeah.
Well, no, but like in terms of fun activity, because I mean the truth is like with kids and stuff now, it's like we're dying to get a word in with each other.
You know what I will say? I believe like that's really cool that some couples enjoy like running together. We have like such like your schedules are just kind of like we kind of are passing each other in the house, and I have my own hobby as of lately. Like I've taught myself how to DJ, and I'm taking it very seriously. Wow. And I really love it so much.
Wow.
And like my kids hear like a lot of curse words coming out of the office just from like mixing together a lot of illicit drug use songs. But I think it's less about the hobbies together and more about letting each other have their space and then coming together, like carving out moments of let's just have our coffee together. And the kids come over and I'm like, get away. And like just being protective of that, or of like, we try to always have dinner together. We're like, try to come together. Sneaking
out for a dinner together, like ideally once a week when we can, to have, you know, when you have young kids, like they don't know how to do anything. So they need your help all the time.
They don't know how to do anything. It's like wild.
They can't get their own water. And they drink a lot of water.
You can't reach that. She doesn't know like you shouldn't sit with like your full butthole and vagina on concrete without underwear. I'm like, you're gonna get sick.
So like even just being able to go and sit somewhere and
just
have
like all the time. You're just like, just put it in.
So just being
The answer
able
is
to
I wish I had an answer.
sit and have a coffee, sit and have
We
dinner
both do
together
Pilates,
and
but
catch
not
up.
together. On the road, you come with me to do Pilates.
I do.
So that's sweet. He's always like the only man in the class. I wish we were the couple that did like CrossFit together.
My favorite hobby is my mom watching the kids so I can come along with her for a weekend.
Yeah. It's a lot
This
of
is
like him having a
unbelievable.
beer and me having anxiety.
You know, this is a great question. You asked such a wonderful question. So in other words, the answer is none.
No hobbies.
Okay, and that's why I don't want to get married.
Why?
And now we have accomplished.
You don't have
everything.
any hobbies. Do you have any hobbies?
Yeah.
What do you have?
My work.
Yeah, besides that.
Nothing. There's
That's
no
right. I
hobby.
don't have it either.
And
There's
frankly,
no hobbies.
I hardly have ever taken a vacation in
Yeah.
my life. I mean, it's just like
It's
you
so hard.
travel, you play these cities, and we had this talk with my friends. I mean, I would never get on a plane to go to a destination now just to spend some time there and come back. It makes just no sense. I cannot get on a plane to just go have a vacation.
You
It's like
feel
it's just-
guilty almost.
We booked a
Like
vacation
an
and
anxiety.
she added a show.
I added a
and
show
in
to
my
pay for
head,
plane
I'm like,
tickets.
she just paid for a whole vacation in 1 hour.
But that is also the cool thing about being a comic who does work internationally, and not all comics do.
Yeah.
Like, we went to Iceland. I was like, I'll just book a quick show. But you also do the show not just for the money, but you do it so that you can live with yourself.
Yes.
Like, I can't go there and just relax knowing that there are people doing comedy and I'm not a part of it. Like, I can't stay in a city. I don't know if you feel this way. If I've done the gig and like I have a day off, I have to get to the next city. I cannot spend the day in the city where I just worked because someone else might be working. And then I'll feel bad that I'm not working. Does that make sense?
That's interesting. For me, it's like if I'm in a city, if I'm in a country, I just want to also experience those people. I want to experience the audience in that country.
audience.
I want to see what the vibe is, what the culture is, and how my comedy is relating. And I sort of learn a lot about people and cultures through my stand-up. And so it's like I said, it's really difficult, for us to just go out of town, get on a plane, go through all of this stuff, and it's just for fun. No, I'll just drive to Santa Barbara for fun. It's
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
I do work and my hobby is doing sets at night at home. Like there's the tour and your hobby is also your job.
Yeah, your hobby is having thousands of people chanting your name.
It's a little hobby. It's a little side hustle.
We have one more question over there.
Wanted to ask, what was your favorite comedy moment while you've been on the scene?
I do a lot of USO stuff, so I go on bases and I'm very fortunate to get to work with them. And years ago, we did an arrested landing on an aircraft carrier. So if anyone here's in the military, you can probably better explain this. But basically you're in like a fighter plane that lands on an aircraft carrier and there's a giant thing that catches you. And that's how you land. And it was in, I think it was the Persian Gulf. Or it was outside of Bahrain. It was in the Persian Gulf. And we landed and I was there on a chairman's tour. So it's you and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and like some other comics and some athletes and they just kind of put together a group, and it was the Christmas tour because that's obviously the worst time to be away from your family. And we landed and we did a show on the SS Stennis in front of 2,000 Navy men and women. And the hatch was open so you could see the whole ocean. I get goosebumps. And you did this show and you take pictures after, and that was actually the inspiration for the set design I had for my Netflix special Elder Millennial, which we ended up doing on the USS Hornet in Alameda on an aircraft carrier, like in an airplane hangar on an aircraft carrier. And it was just those tours, I've done a couple of them, but it's always special to contextualize what our men and women give up to simply defend our right to say whatever the fuck we want to say. As bad as things are, you're still very lucky to be in this country. And it's because of people like that. And so every time I do a USO show, I'm reminded that I get to do these things because people are giving up time with their families and in many cases their lives to ensure that I have that freedom of religion and of speech. Kind of over your own body, but that depends on what state you live in.
I've been lucky enough, they invited me to come to Okinawa on the last one, and I got to do cooking demos for the troops and teach people. A lot of these guys are 19, 20 years old, and teaching them how to cook dinner when they get home is a cool thing. And actually we're gonna have a bunch of people through the USO and troops coming on Father's Day to an event at Coronado Brewing in San Diego.
Wow.
So it's gonna be a fun thing.
Come on down.
That's wonderful. And I'm so lucky that I had a chance to get my college buddy and one of my favorite comedians
That's very sweet.
to come here and have a good chat and learn more and more about you guys. Thank you for
Thanks,
coming.
Max.
This was
Thanks,
so
you guys.
fun.
You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
Really.